Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I hope you are enjoying the videos. For more insight on HR practices and real corporate world exposure, please subscribe to our channel, like the video and do share it with others. Also, please press the bell icon to never miss an update from HR Success Talk. Thanks a lot. Enjoy this video.
The topic that we'll be discussing will be strategic recruitment. And there are a lot of things that we can go ahead and understand that what strategic recruitment is all about. The first and foremost question that comes to my mind is, are you finding and attracting the right talent? So, how exactly can we do that? There are certain steps into it which can be followed like this. The first one will be define your goals. And defining your goal means how exactly the company goals are defined for this particular financial year or the upcoming next financial year. Growing headcount. How many expected or stipulated employees we are looking forward to add in order to drive the business smoothly? Improving diversity. We keep on talking about a lot of diversity and inclusion. So that is not only specifically related to the hiring of a particular gender into your company, but that is beyond than that. It could be hiring from multiple races, ethnicity, beyond the caste and the creed hiring as well. Reducing the cost of making a new hire. Are we spending too much on multiple job portals? Are we not looking at our internal stakeholders, our existing employees to give across the employee referrals? Maybe we can look forward to add certain amount over there instead of doing a lot of marketing strategies in terms of the job portals. Reducing the time taken to make a new hire. How is our entire interview process? Is it like even for a one particular executive role, are we taking more than a week to continue the different rounds of discussion with multiple stakeholders, asking the same repetitive questions, which is not adding any value to your particular interview discussion? Streamlining recruitment processes and reducing repetitive admin. So any kind of admin work which is there, like we are creating multiple reports by different people into the team that how many interviews are happening on a daily basis. So this can be aligned and uploaded into a software rather than preparing it onto multiple Excel sheets and asking someone to collate that Excel sheet and send it across to you. And the entire recruitment process can be streamlined, that how and who will be responsible for taking the interviews, what will be the duration will be of the interviews, how soon can we expect a result decision making once the person has been interviewed with us. Empowering hiring managers to be more involved into the hiring process. So it's not like that, but once a job description has been created by the hiring managers, their work is done. Their work starts post that as well. They would be the one who have to sit with their team and understand what work they are doing and how they are defining the work, and in the similar way preparing the list of the other candidates they need to work upon the similar role or a different role, or maybe something new pipeline coming across in terms of a new business role that they can think of. Improving employee retention. So it's not like that we need to keep on talking only about hiring a new hire or maybe a new person into the organization, but how are we managing our existing relationship with the employees? Are we giving them appropriate time to outperform a task or maybe responsibilities? Are we looking at their career growth within the organization year after year they are being with us? The first and foremost reason, or one of the basic reason that any particular employee look forward to leave an organization after spending good amount of time, is not going beyond their regular task responsibilities, not getting enough opportunities to explore their own career growth within the organization. Becoming less reliant on external recruiters. So, when we are hiring a vendor company, it's not their organization that they look forward to hire. So, the way they are treating the prospective employees of your organization, the way a candidate is being treated into multiple rounds of the discussion defines a lot about a company as well. So in order to minimize this, we can look forward to expand the internal existing recruitment team and maybe align with each line of business to give a better clarity in terms of the roles that we are hiring for. Building a stronger talent pipeline. So, a talent pipeline cannot be created within a day or a month or so. It's like when a company is looking forward to start a new division within the organization, or maybe they're looking forward to take over a new organization, maybe they're looking forward to start a new business line. They must be aware that what kind of talent they would require into each division of that particular organization and how to map them from the existing market. In the similar pattern, they'll be doing the forecasting of the future hiring needs as well. That what could be my prospective hiring need for the next quarter, 6 months, depending upon the business I'm deriving. How do we do forecasting the future hiring needs? So get your organization chart up to date. So whatever the organization chart we have prepared so far, it needs to be an updated on a regular basis. We cannot go ahead and rely the organization chart which was prepared 6 months, 1 year, or maybe 5 years ago the line. Identify likely promotions. There could be certain people within the organization who could be promoted to the next level of role, not only depending upon the way they have performed into their regular task, but the additional responsibilities they have taken and the teamwork they have managed in the absence of their respective managers. Identify likely attrition and turnover. There could be certain people in the organization or into the teams who are not enjoying what they are doing or who were actually experimenting in terms of their career and looking forward to go ahead and study further, or maybe they are less likely to continue further with the organization due to the way they have been working. So, as a reporting manager, my responsibility will be to understand my team and the emotions they have been going through each phase of their stay in the organization. Growth factor. So, what growth factor as a manager I can create for my team? Maybe once they have completed and done successfully 1 year these responsibilities they were given out, did I happen to add up anything extra? Did I happen to ask them that if they will be interested to move into a different role altogether? So these factors will also be there. Skill gaps. One day company decided they wanted to move ahead and start using a new software. So how are we training our existing employees on the usage of it? Are we simply implementing it and giving one-on-one trainings and then our work is done? No. We would be mapping that how exactly the existing workforce can utilize the next level of any software or any kind of competencies they need by doing a training need analysis. Clarity on type of candidates to attract. So our job posting is circulated to the entire world, but that does not mean it's reaching out to the right talent or to the right people who can be a good asset for an organization. So we should have a clarity onto the same, that is this the right set of the people we are looking forward in terms of the competencies mapping. Revisit your employee value proposition. As an employer, what values are we adding to the employee's career or the job they have been assigned to? So there has to be a clear thought process onto the same from the employer perspective. Develop your sourcing strategies. So your sourcing strategy needs to be into a proper sync with the talent pipeline that you're looking forward to build. First one is programmatic recruitment advertising. So recruitment advertising should not happen the day you realize that you need to hire some people for your team. It's a channelized process and that should happen on a regular basis in order to build your employer brand. Job board advertising. So whatever you are preparing in terms of the job descriptions needs to be clear, crisp, and up to the mark, giving across the entire information to the person who will be reading that. Adding up to the recruitment agencies. So somehow your internal teams could not refer the best possible people to work with you, or your job advertisements, or the kind of hiring you are looking forward to is not being fulfilled. So, in that case, you should not hesitate reaching out to the recruitment agencies which can tap the best possible candidate for you. Print advertising. So, advertisements into the paper, a newspaper has been also into the practice. This can be another way to do it. Employee referrals. One of the best way to hire any person is always the employee referral, because someone who has worked with your organization and has been working is really happy, and they wanted their friends, the people with whom they have worked in the past, to come and enjoy the similar vicinity with them. Nothing can beat this. In a way, it's an employer branding that they are doing it. Job fairs, campus recruiting. So adding new, fresh perspectives into the organization will always be through the campus hiring only. Nothing can beat this. Going to different job fairs, advertisements about your company over there, even if you're not hiring one single person, that's fine. At least your employer branding is done through this. Engaging with existing talent pools, people whom you have interviewed in past 6 months, maybe a year before, you can reconnect with them and see how exactly they can help you out with the current ongoing hiring needs. Refine your selection process. Now, coming to the selection process, it needs to be very much crisp if we go ahead and discuss it in more detail. It ensures that your selection process gives every candidate a fair chance. Even if you think that this candidate is not a perfect fit or is not a good match for the role, you can always help the candidate to prepare before he or she turns up for the interview, asking them to work out onto their skill sets, which is best. And the ones which are not into the practice, be honest and open about it that they are not aware at all. Ensuring your best candidates stay engaged. So once the interview is done, it does not end up over there. Your regular interactions, asking them for the team meets, asking them to come and enjoy one particular day in the organization and see how everything works is the best way to do the candidate engagement. Ensure your hiring managers engage with the process. So, hiring managers will also play a vital role when we are offering any particular candidate, when we are getting someone interviewed. So, how exactly their impressions are there into the mind of the candidate will also play a major role. Minimizing unnecessary admin by streamlining the selection process. So, does not need to be a lot of work that needs to be done, specifically in terms of the day to day task or the admin responsibilities. This also needs a better streamlining. Introducing blind hiring. I'll cite an example into this. In order to go ahead and do a lot of diversity and inclusion into the organization, one of the organizations into my known circle, they introduce blind hiring. I'll explain how this works for them. So before they give across the details of a resume to a prospective hiring manager, they have removed their details in terms of their complete name, in terms of their gender, in terms of their marital status, and only the competencies mapping was mentioned out into the resume. So, in this way, the prospective hiring manager was not aware or was not known that the person they are about to meet belongs to a particular gender, creed, caste, ethnicity, and whatever decision they are making after meeting the candidate, be it in person or virtually, was all onto the skill sets of the person. So this actually helps the selection process not to be biased. Using candidate scorecards. This is one of the interesting ones, specifically when you talk about the scorecards that has been prepared by different hiring manager for a particular role that they have been hiring for. So when you go ahead and refine the scorecards and the ratings given out by different hiring managers, you can realize that what skill set they're actually looking forward, so that next time when you're presenting a candidate, you can be more specific.